Imagine giving an artificial intelligence access to your computer. You tell it what you want, find the information, write the report, send the email, book the meeting, and finish the task. Sounds useful, right? But now imagine something different. The AI doesn't just answer you. It starts making decisions. It opens websites. It reads files. It interacts with software. It uses tools. And depending on the system and the permissions it receives, it can take actions that you never directly told it to take. This is the new world of AI agents, and it could become one of the biggest technology stories of the next few years. Welcome to Tomorrow's Tech. Today, we're looking at AI agents, what they are, why companies are racing to build them, and why cybersecurity researchers are increasingly concerned about what could happen when artificial intelligence is given real access to digital systems. First, let's understand the difference between a normal AI chatbot and an AI agent. When you ask a chatbot a question, it usually gives you an answer. You ask, it responds, and the conversation ends there. An AI agent is different. An agent is designed to complete a goal. It can potentially break that goal into smaller steps, use different tools, interact with websites and applications, and depending on the system and the permissions it receives, take actions on your behalf. Think about the difference between asking someone, "How do I book a flight?" and saying, "Book the best flight for me." The first request needs an answer. The second request requires action. That is the fundamental idea behind AI agents. And this is why they are so exciting. An AI agent could become a digital assistant that doesn't simply tell you what to do. It could actually do the work for you. But giving an AI the ability to act also creates a completely new security problem. Because the moment an AI can take actions, the consequences of an AI mistake become much bigger. Think about what happens when you give an AI access to your digital life. Your email, your calendar, your documents, your browser, your company software, your databases. Each permission makes the AI more useful, but every permission also creates another potential security risk. This is where AI agents become very different from traditional chatbots. A chatbot can give you a wrong answer. That's a problem. But an AI agent with access to your systems could potentially make a wrong decision and then act on it. Imagine an AI assistant that is supposed to organize your emails. It has permission to read your inbox. Now imagine that one of those emails contains instructions designed to manipulate the AI. The message might look harmless to you, but the AI could interpret hidden instructions inside the content as something it should follow. This type of attack is commonly discussed as prompt injection. The basic idea is simple. Someone tries to influence an AI system by placing instructions inside information that the AI is processing, and this becomes much more serious when the AI has tools and permissions. A normal chatbot might be tricked into producing a strange answer. An agent could potentially be tricked into taking an unwanted action. That's why researchers are paying so much attention to agent security. The problem becomes even more complicated because modern AI systems can work with huge amounts of information. They can browse websites, read documents, analyze emails, interact with applications, and connect different tools together. Every connection creates another possible attack surface. But there is an important distinction. This does not mean that AI agents are automatically dangerous. It means that giving software more autonomy requires stronger security controls. Think about your smartphone. You don't give every application unlimited access to everything on your phone. You decide whether an application can use your camera, your microphone, your location, or your contacts. AI agents need a similar approach. The question isn't simply, can AI do this? The better question is, should this AI be allowed to do this? And who gets to decide? This is where the AI industry is entering unfamiliar territory. For years, software was designed to follow instructions written by humans. Now we're building software that can interpret instructions, make plans, choose tools, and adapt its behavior. That creates a new kind of software, and it creates a new kind of security challenge. Imagine an AI agent working inside a company. It has access to thousands of documents. It can search internal databases. It can communicate with employees. It can operate business software. The company wants the AI to be helpful, so it gives the system enough access to actually complete its job. But what happens if the AI misunderstands an instruction? What happens if someone intentionally tries to manipulate it? And what happens if the AI encounters information that contains instructions it was never supposed to follow? These questions are becoming increasingly important. AI companies are working on techniques designed to make agents safer. One approach is limiting permissions. Instead of allowing an AI to do everything, the system can give it only the access required for a specific task. Another approach is requiring human approval before sensitive actions are completed. For example, an AI might prepare an email, but a human must approve it before the message is sent. An AI might prepare a financial transaction, but the transaction cannot happen without authorization. This creates a safety layer between the AI's decision and a real-world action. There's another important idea: sandboxing. A sandbox is an isolated environment where an AI system can operate without having unrestricted access to the real system. If something goes wrong, the damage can be contained. It's similar to giving someone a practice environment before allowing them to operate the real system. But security is always a race. As AI becomes more capable, attackers will also experiment with new ways to manipulate these systems. And that's why AI security could become one of the biggest technology industries of the next decade. Because every company that wants autonomous AI will eventually have to answer one fundamental question: how much freedom should we give the machine? There is another reason AI agents are attracting so much attention: money. Companies are under enormous pressure to increase productivity. If an AI agent can perform tasks that currently require hours of human work, the economic incentive is enormous. Imagine a customer support agent that can handle routine requests, a software agent that can investigate bugs, a research agent that can collect information, a marketing agent that can analyze campaigns, a finance agent that can prepare reports, a personal agent that manages your schedule. The possibilities are enormous. But there's a catch. The more useful an AI agent becomes, the more access it needs, and the more access it receives, the greater the potential consequences of a mistake. This creates a difficult balance. Too little access, and the AI isn't useful. Too much access, and the risks increase. This is one of the central problems of autonomous AI, and it may change the way we think about software permissions. For decades, we have thought about applications as tools. You open the application, you give it instructions, you control what happens. With autonomous AI, that relationship could change. Instead of controlling every individual action, you give the AI a goal. Then the AI decides how to reach that goal. That is incredibly powerful, but it also means that humans need to understand what the AI is doing. Transparency becomes important, logging becomes important, permission controls become important, and human oversight becomes extremely important. Because the biggest risk may not be an AI that suddenly becomes conscious. The real risk could be something much more ordinary, an AI system trying to accomplish a perfectly normal objective while misunderstanding what you actually wanted. Imagine telling an AI, "Clean up my computer." What exactly does that mean? Delete temporary files? Remove duplicate photos? Uninstall unused applications? Delete old documents? A human understands context. A machine may interpret the instruction differently. That is why the future of AI isn't only about making models smarter, it's also about making them safer. So, should we be afraid of AI agents? Not necessarily, but we should take them seriously. Every major technology has introduced new risks. Cars created traffic accidents. The internet created cybercrime. Smartphones created privacy concerns. Cloud computing created new security challenges. AI agents are likely to create their own category of risks. The answer isn't to stop developing the technology. The answer is to develop the technology responsibly. Imagine a future where your AI assistant can manage your entire digital life. It knows your schedule. It understands your preferences. It can research information. It can communicate with other people. It can organize your files. It can even interact with other AI systems. That future could be incredibly convenient. But it also means your AI assistant could become one of the most important pieces of software in your life. And that means securing it could become just as important as securing your bank account. We are already moving toward a world where AI doesn't simply generate information. It takes action. And that transition may be one of the most important changes in computing history. The first era of AI was about asking questions. The next era is about giving AI objectives. And the era after that could be about AI systems coordinating entire workflows with very little human intervention. That sounds exciting, but it also raises difficult questions. Who is responsible when an AI makes a mistake? Who decides what an AI is allowed to do? How much autonomy is too much? And perhaps the biggest question of all, can we make AI powerful enough to be genuinely useful, while keeping it controlled enough to be trustworthy. Nobody has all the answers yet, and that's exactly why this technology deserves our attention. Because the AI revolution isn't only about smarter chatbots, it's about creating machines that can act. And once software can act, security becomes much more than protecting information. It becomes protecting actions. The next few years could completely change how we interact with computers. Instead of opening dozens of applications ourselves, we may simply tell an AI what we want. Instead of searching through hundreds of websites, an agent could research the information for us. Instead of manually completing repetitive digital tasks, AI could handle them automatically. That future is incredibly powerful, but power without control creates risks. The safest AI future won't necessarily be the one with the most autonomous machines. It could be the one with the best balance between automation and human control. That's the challenge engineers, researchers, companies, and governments are facing right now. AI agents are still developing. The technology is not perfect. The security systems are still evolving, and the rules surrounding autonomous AI are still being debated. But one thing is becoming clear. AI is moving from answering questions to taking actions. And that changes everything. So the next time you hear someone say that AI is just a chatbot, remember this. The technology is moving far beyond conversation. We are building systems that can understand goals, use tools, interact with software, and potentially operate with increasing levels of independence. The question isn't whether this future is coming. It's how carefully we build it. This is tomorrow's tech. We explain the technology shaping the future without the unnecessary hype. If you want to understand where artificial intelligence is going before it becomes everyday reality, subscribe to Tomorrow's Tech. Because the future isn't waiting for us. It's already being built. And the smartest thing we can do is understand it before it arrives.